Oh, good.
So,
You got it.
so is the cafes. So let me fix this real quick.
Okay, that's good. Hello, everyone. Oh, forgot which camera. Hello. Nice to see everyone. My name is Kaya Boyd, and I'm here today with Jason. Got a lot of things to talk about.
Okay.
I frequently touch my hair. It's just a habit. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I was younger. I had like long hair, so it was just like always doing this.
Always touching it.
Always. I think since I was a baby, my hair was really like long, so it was like, oh yeah. I don't know how many times I touched it. Oh wow, there's such a long line outside the Adidas store.
Where?
Over in the corner.
Oh, I was wondering what they was doing. They was giving out free stuff.
That's how people line up for Jordans.
So for that one, we got to come in tight. See, I don't know why angles. All right. Now we're vertical.
We're back.
Because Twitter sucks.
Ooh, didn't I say that for Twitter?
Oh, they didn't like YouTube. They didn't like kick it off.
Oh no, I mean, people are like, don't be talking about Twitter like that. I can't get into Twitter. I don't be mad.
Twitter is the business, man. Like,
I can't get into it. Like, I had a Twitter years ago, but I probably said something not so great on there, and I was like, well, probably should delete my old Twitter. So,
hey, you can get a lot of deals on Twitter.
But you know, like those little quote unquote old tweets come back to like reach when you like a celebrity or something.
Well, yeah, man, and you know what? That's dumb. Honestly, man, like Jesus Christ, like
preventative measures.
But
maybe
like 10 years ago, I'm like, don't stuff on your credit report go away after 10 years. I don't know.
Honestly speaking, that
like,
makes more sense.
Jesus. But okay, all right. So that first was the test one. So now we're ready. All right, everyone. How's it going? This is, you're watching Mining My Black-Owned Business, or Livestream 001. I am Jason, aka Director Nola, and this is the lovely
Kaya Boyd. Hello. Nice to see you.
We are here in Seoul, South Korea, and we're located in the Gangnam area. Can you give us a little bit? You picked this location.
Yes, I did. Right now, we're currently at the end, like near the intersection where Gangnam and so many other places around here, like Shinsa and Shinonyan, where they meet. It's like a really popular area over here. Apparently, people are waiting outside to go to the Adidas store. I don't know what's coming out.
Yeah.
I'm not into shoes.
Like there's like a stupid long line over there for Adidas. They went, people like the Yeezys. Which, like, yeah, a lot of Koreans like Yeezys. Like, they stand out in line for those Yeezys.
For what
Because it's Kanye, man.
For what reason?
Because it's Kanye. You know why? They do it for Kanye.
I really don't get it.
I won't. I'll stick to my dad's shoes.
Oh, yeah. If they had a Payless here, I would go to Payless. I know they like liquidating the stores in the U.S.
Yeah, they closing down, huh?
If they had a Payless here, that's where I would be. But their Payless is called Shoepin, so I go there.
Yeah, they don't have nothing over size 10, I believe. So I can't even go there.
They have up to like a size 10 for women. So
yeah, men.
Like, yes.
Yeah, for men, they don't have too many big shoes. Actually, and it's kind of going to what we talk about business. I had a good buddy. His wife, he lived in Japan. They will go to the States. She will buy all the bigger size shoes from Payless, and then go back to Japan and sell those shoes to people who need them at a way marked up price. So Payless is already cheap. So she will buy like a bunch of because it's hard to get big shoes especially in Japan. So she will buy the bigger size shoes from Payless in the US, ship them back to Japan, and then sell them for like $40 or $50.
She was making a killing.
Yeah. So That's smart.
Okay,
That's
you know
retail
what?
arbitrage in a different level right there.
If I can go back to Payless, like, because it's all being liquidated, so
Yeah.
everything's on sale. If I can go get me some old shoes, come back and sell them.
Because there's a lot of there's some bigger, healthier people here in Korea too. So, all right. So let's get into the subject. So today we're going to talk about building a business or why you should have a business online. And earlier, Kaya, she talked about what she wanted to do. You want to give a quick recap so we can have it on YouTube and on Twitter?
Yeah, sure, why not? So, earlier I was discussing how I want to start my own business here. I already have like a lot of different things going on right now with YouTube, Instagram. I'm working with other YouTubers. I'm working with a lot of different social media outlets. And I'm trying to get my own lipstick line started because I like lipstick. I take an interest in makeup, something. But lipsticks are my favorite. And I thought, being a black girl here, like, yeah, there's not like there's not a really big pool of jobs that I can get while working in Korea. Like, already I'm an actress, I'm a model, I sing, I dance, blah, blah, blah. And so I used to work with a Korean entertainment company. I enjoyed that, but it didn't exactly go the way I planned it. So we had a lot of disagreements. I ended the contract and I'm doing my own thing. But I always wanted to get my own businesses started. And the lipstick line will definitely be first. Maybe later on throughout the year or next year, I want to start something with underwear and like bras because, well, that's another thing I take an interest in. So
I might be able to help you out with the underwear and bras.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I got a connection on
shoot.
that. Yeah.
Get a kimchi socks style like bra or something.
No, I'm not doing that name. In my social partner, and he's a black guy in Colombia. He's actually starting this. He actually has his factory. He's from Houston, but he has a factory in Colombia and he makes underwear.
Oh, he does?
Yep. Yeah. So I can really connect with him and talk to him when you're ready to get that.
Oh, definitely. Because I got some ideas. I'm still trying to, and that's the thing is like, I'm new to the whole business, like starting my own business, obviously. So I'm trying to make my own brand, like even with my social media and trying to market myself in the right directions. And with lipstick, like, I like lipstick. I enjoy wearing it, putting it on. I don't mind advertising my own to other people. But where do I get started? And how do I start these things?
Luckily in Korea, this is like the land of when it comes to makeup products.
That's true.
I actually know a Nigerian woman. She actually is a makeup line because the thing that she noticed is here a lot of makeup is designed to make your skin whiter.
Yeah.
So she was like, nah. So she's trying to create something where it's for black women and women of color. Where no, because no, we don't want to make our skin whiter. We want just regular products that we can use. So I look for her and I can kind of connect you with her later.
I would love that.
I just shared that on there. All right. So starting your business. So when you what's some questions come to mind about starting a business, especially overseas and not in America?
Well, first is, how do you get the funding for this? Like, in my case, like, I'm probably going to have to do it all on my own, like self-fund myself, which is fine with me because I'm going to invest in my own business. I'm going to invest in my own ideas. But for some people who might have bigger ideas when it comes to starting a business, how should they go about it? Like, how should they, where should they start? Where are they going to get the funding?
All right. So always when I tell people that's always the main question: where to get the funding, and a lot of it comes from your own money.
Exactly.
If you need to get a side job, make extra money from the side job, and save that money to put it towards your business. One thing you can do, like when I started Kimchi Socks, I didn't make my own socks. I bought other people's socks that were made and bought it wholesale, and then I sold them and it saved the profits and slowly built up. So so the old school bootstrap method is the way you get the funding. Yes, you can probably take out loans as well, but until you know that your business is going to actually be generating revenue, you want to try to avoid taking out loans and all that stuff. So if possible, using your own savings, taking a portion of your income that you currently, if you have a job currently making, put it to the side, or like Gary Vee talks about, is you go find products like at thrift stores and then resell them on eBay or Amazon and make a profit and save that money. So that's one way to get funding. I know a lot of people think, oh, they try to go to VC or they do these pitch contests where they can get $10,000 or they do all these things. And honestly, that's not the way to do it. You are in when you're doing a business. The point of doing a business is to earn income, and if you can't even get that first lesson down on figuring out how to generate income, you're gonna have a hard time funding your business. Because right now, a lot of people think doing pitch contests, getting VC money, getting angel investment money makes you a successful business. No, you're not successful at all. Getting money from these little incubators and all that, that is not earning income. That's just money that you got to invest to try to develop your idea. You want to try to figure out how to generate income as fast as soon as possible in your business, not figuring out how to create your perfect pitch, because your time you're spending doing that can be spending figuring out how to earn income. If that makes any sense, because both requires time. So if you're spending time trying to pitch someone your idea so they can just give you money to go develop your idea, same amount of time can be spent. Okay, how can I just earn income? Because at the end of the day, how do you earn income? And a lot of people don't know how to earn income. So that's what I think the both your people time should be spending on. Okay, I go buy some already made list of products that's already made. Um, Create some content around those products and then sell those products and then take those profits from that and then invest it into my own made products. That is much more beneficial versus trying to pitch. Because while you spending so much time pitching, you got the other person over here who's spending time selling, and then they're going to be ahead of you in the long run versus you may be ahead of them in the short run, but when it comes to long term, because you never spend time learning how to actually generate income, you're going to struggle, because the person who did take the long road up, they're going to understand the whole process of what it took to build the content, to build the community, to build the all that goes into selling something. So that's something that I see a lot of people do is, oh, I need to get people to invest. No, you got to get people to buy.
I mean, that's where the money is.
Yeah, that's where the money is. Like, you need to get people to buy, not people to invest first. You need people to buy, because there's no reason. Like, I know that, and that's really the thing that's being talked about. Oh, investment. Even here in Korea, there's a lot of those incubators. You get $10,000 for your developing business idea. Honestly, if you can't save $10,000 yourself, that's bad. Honestly, so if you can't, so think about it. If you can't cut out going out, so that means no more clubbing. That means cut out going to coffee shops. Cut a lot of stuff out you're already spending money on. Take that money, save it. Figure out where you can work some extra hours to earn extra money. Take that money and save it. Like I said, buy some products that's already made. Create some video content. Do reviews of those products. Become a subject matter expert, which makes you build your community. So when you do get ready to sell your product, you already have the community to sell to, and you already built the trust. You already, built the connection. You told them, hey, here's this product, and if you want to buy it, you can go to this link right here and buy it. And just to be informed, I do get a little like affiliate links. So right there, and then you take that money and save it. So you're practicing on someone else's bicycle. So even right there, you don't even have to buy a bunch of products. Initially, you're building your brand, you're building your community, you're building yourself as a subject matter expert. So when you are ready to sell your own made product, it just flies off the shelf.
Makes sense.
All right, so that's how I say go about getting the funding is bootstrap, cut your expenses, sell some stuff. If you got some stuff you don't need no more, sell it, save that money. If you got some stocks you've been sitting on, sell it, save that money. Just start liquidating stuff you already have that you don't even need no more, and then take that and put it towards your business. So that's ways you can get funding without even having to go get a loan, without using your credit card, without trying to get like investors and this and that. And I'm telling you this because like I had to learn the hard way. So I'm telling you the easy way to go about it. And that's good. That's actually what you do. And you're awesome. You already have a lot of knowledge in this space. You can go and get the products. You can even do reviews of the products and give your point of view and build that up. People are like, okay, cool. So when you sell your product, they I'm like, I fucks with her because she spent like a year telling us the do's and don'ts, the pros and cons, and share with us all this, and that. So when you do get yours, people are gonna want to buy from you because they trust you.
Well, I got a question.
Mhm.
Where, if we wanted to invest in our own business ideas, like we have the money and all these things, where are we going for our products? Do you suggest companies like Alibaba for buying bulk products like this?
So it depends. You now have a lot of shops in the U.S. are starting to pop up. A lot of black-owned companies are who manufacture product. Alibaba is a good source if you're trying to get Chinese manufacturers, right? And or
Yeah, you said it all.
yeah, so the question is sourcing. Where do you source your product? So yes, there's different ways. Typically, Asia controls the bulk of the manufacturing of products. In particular, China is the number one, then India. Korea does manufacture a lot of products, and like I said, it's placed in the U.S. that manufactures cosmetics too, and in other countries. But China is the king of all the manufacturing. So, but then it comes down to what do you want your brand to embody? Like, do you want a company that's known for environmental issues, known for like shitty work conditions for the employees, and so you can do so you got to figure out where you want to get it made at. So kimchi socks is sourced from Korea. I can meet my manufacturer, I can talk to him, we have face-to-face meetings, and I can talk to him, get to understand where he comes from, his thinking. So that's easy. Cosmetics, there's a lot of cosmetic manufacturers here too. You can go find them too. I'm not gonna say easy, you just gotta look for them. Thanks for the hearts. So sourcing becomes a lot of work, and one of the biggest issues about sourcing from Asia is a lot of times communication issues. A lot of times those communication issues can lead in wrong product being made, which leads to waste of money, loss of time. And you can get money back, you can't get time back. So working with people who are already feet on the ground in the countries you're trying to source from can really help you with saving money and help you with avoiding wasting time on sourcing your products. And like myself, I help people a lot who ask me up, hey, can you help me find products? And I help navigate for them. There's a brother in China, a black guy. He does the same thing for black people in particular, who's looking to get products made out of China. And same, I think in Europe and in Africa, there's people over there too, I know. So if you could find someone who's feet on the ground, you tell them what you're looking for, and they can help you navigate getting robbed and losing time with that.
Well, that all sounds pretty good, especially with there's kind of like, I want to say, steps to it, obviously, because you gotta have the money, you gotta have the funding, you have to know where to find your products, where to buy them. So what do you think is the next step after, okay, you found your products, you found basically the company that you want to work with to make your products and to distribute them possibly. So where do you go from there?
So with some manufacturers, I know China don't really care, but Korea, they tend to care about are you like a registered company? Where you registered at? So they care a lot about the paper trail in Korea. China don't care too much. They like, you got the money, we have the product. Take your money, here's your product. So they don't care too much. But so for example, Korea, like so Kimchi Socks is a registered LLC in Wyoming. That's the state I registered company. It's a location independent company. So a lot of I guess
register, right?
Yeah. So the kind of backs up. A lot of black people, in particular, even some adults, do not know that you do not have to live in the U.S. to register to register a company in the U.S. Yeah, you don't. You don't even have to be American to have to own a company. So yeah, you don't need to be in the U.S. You don't need to be American. You don't need to have a visa. You don't need to have a green card. You don't have to have no citizenship to register LLC in the U.S. Right?
I'm taking this on like this.
So yes. So and not too many countries you can do that. So that's a whole nother topic. So with that being said, you can go on certain websites and hire people to do the work for you. And you probably pay them like $500, and they will take care of. And if you say you want to do an LLC, they will take care of getting your federal tax ID number for your company. They will then take care of registering your company in the state. I recommend Wyoming because Wyoming has 0 state taxes on businesses. That as long as you don't do business in Wyoming, you have 0 state taxes. You still got to do federal. they take care of that, and they also offer a registered agent service. So they the ones that register with the state, and so the state has important documents to send to you. They will receive those documents for you. So you kind of need that. That's like $100 a year. So they will register your company for you, give you the articles of incorporation, give you all the documents you need so you can set up a business bank account as well. Because some companies, even when dealing overseas, they want to see, okay, are you a legitimate company? What's your government documents to prove that who you are? Because some companies wouldn't even do business with you if you're not a legitimate company. Yeah, because they need to have those documents to show their government that, hey, yes, we are doing business with overseas companies. We are legitimate ourselves. So they want to do business with registered companies. So it benefits them. So now I know you asked about the next step. So we're talking about pretty much setting up your business and why you can be overseas. So another thing that you can do, you can have a physical address in the US that forwards your mail to you overseas.
Okay.
That's something I use, and now that this comes in handy. So, for example, we were talking about earlier that one of the biggest issues in Korea is trying to get funding. What's up, Russia? So, one of the biggest issues for foreigners in particular is trying to get funding. Honestly, it is naive for you, especially if you're black, to go overseas and think that these countries are going to give you funding for your business. If we have a hard time in our own country in America, don't think you can go to another country and get funding. So, for example, me, I'm able to get a business credit card for my business because I have a U.S. address. I use the phone service as well that forwards my phone calls to my overseas calls. So, all on paper, on the website, you're contacting my U.S. presence, and it gets forwarded to me. And that saves you money because you're not paying the national fees, you're not paying all that. I'm taking care of all that. So it allows me to have a physical presence in the US. I can file my taxes in all its kosher, right? Now, for capital for your business, this is a little trick. I already did two of my businesses because I have because I have my US address, I was able to apply to get a business credit card that I can use to buy products for what's up, Colombia. I can use that to buy products for to complete a job. All right. So now that I'm in Korea, so I'm in Korea running my business. I have a U.S. address. I have a U.S. registered company. I have a U.S. Business bank account. I have my U.S. credit card that I was able to get with my U.S. address, and I have PayPal. So I'm already set up for receiving funding to sell product. So going back to you, so you want to set up your business, you go to that website and you pay them and they set it up for you. Now you have your official LLC, but now we can store the product. So that's where it gets tricky. So this one I'm still kind of like dabbing with. So you say your lipstick on Amazon. So Amazon offers you FBA where they can store your product for you, and if you sell it, they will ship the product for you as well. What's up, NYC?
Hello.
So let me know if I'm answering your questions.
No, this is good. I'm learning so much. I feel like for those who are listening, like this is really good information, especially if you're interested in starting your own business, because a lot of us feel like, we don't want to work for corporations. We want to do stuff ourselves. We want to have our own jobs instead of working the typical 9 to 5. And like our own side businesses that could turn into potentially bigger businesses,
right?
Once we get established and things like that. But we don't always know where to start. So this information is really good. It's helpful to me because I'm not even in America where, of course, we have internet and I can access all of my resources from the internet. But certain things I feel like I'm missing from not being in America, like how to do this and how to do that, because I could just walk into a place or I could take a class and be more educated on this. So being overseas, living in Korea and not really having too much information and going to Korean people asking, like, how do you start a business? I feel like they're a little stingy with their information.
They are very stingy.
So I feel more comfortable being able to ask Jason up front, like, what is it? Because he already has this well-established business with the kimchi socks. So I need to kind of figure out where to go. Like, what do I do? What's the steps? And if you want to expand or even like create your own business, that your little side business that could potentially turn into something um, stable or substantial for like your income.
Right. And so like right, information creates very hard to get. People are very stingy with their information. Um, they have these incubators. I think like Soul Startup, whatever. So for example, the piggyback. So I was talk. I got invited to go talk to this one sister. She started a business. She was operating at one of these incubators, and the issue she kept running into with these Korean incubators is that they didn't really So for example, she wanted to get some products made. They only wanted to give her Korean suppliers. Now that's good and all, but however, the Korean suppliers cost way more money. And if you're a startup, you have very limited funds. You're trying to get the best deal as possible to get you the most bang for your buck. And in a lot of these incubators, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these Korean incubators are designed to gear these foreign entrepreneurs into paying Korean suppliers. That's pretty much what it is. I remember one incubator I tried to apply for. They was giving foreigners $10,000. Well, 10 million won, which is about $10,000. So I asked some questions about it. I said, hey, can I use that money to pay for a freelancer on Upwork?
I use Upwork for let me tell y'all, Upwork recommended. I use it
Yes.
for everything. Been using it since 2014. It's a great website.
But this is what they said. They said, well, really, you can't because it's not really money they give you. They give you 10 million won in credit that you are allowed to use for approved vendors of their incubator. So once again, it's a way for them to control their money. So yes, because yes, countries benefit from having foreigners create business in their country. It helps stimulate the economy, creates new industries, which creates more jobs. But at the same time, Korea and like other Asian countries, they're very particular on prevent anti-money laundering and all this and that, to the point where they try to control their dollars, especially because a lot of that money that goes to these incubators are taxpayers' dollars, or not. So a lot of it's not from the private sector. A lot of it's from the government trying to stimulate the economy. So you as a foreigner, you get into these programs. These programs are, yeah, they're designed to help with your business, but they're also designed to help employ Koreans, the locals. That's ultimately what it's for, to give locals jobs, to steer money to Korean businesses. Yes, you're working on your business, but you might not be getting the most help and information that you need. And they do offer information that is beneficial information for the Korean market. Now, keep in mind, you're not Korean. You don't have the same culture background, so you already have a learning curve issue right there. You're behind the curve on. You don't speak the language fluently, so once again, you're not there. So
even if you do, you're still not going to have the same advantage.
They still look at you because they're very shallow. They very look at face value first before they even go any deeper. So whenever I talk to foreigners, I say, bro, honestly, stop focusing on trying to build a business that caters to Koreans. All the time, people ask me, do you sell your stocks to Koreans? I say no, because for one, I'm not Korean. Two, that's just not my playing field. If any of you who play sports, you understand, you don't have home field advantage. You're already kind of at a disadvantage. And they have home field advantage. They can get the financing they need right away. They can get the information. They know where to get the information. They have so many things going for them that's going against you that gives them a competitive advantage. So when you're a foreigner and you come in here looking for them to give you tools to win, you're naive to think they're going to give you all the tools to beat their own people. They're going to give you just enough to survive a little bit on the field, but they're not going to give you enough to thrive. That's foolish. And because we come from America, because America is set up that way. America is one of the few countries that is set up for someone not American to be able to come to and thrive. The rest of the world does not operate like that. The rest of the world is competitive. The rest of the world is like, nah, this is ours. You're not from here. You're a tourist. You're a guest. We're going to treat you nice. We're going to treat you with respect. We're going to treat you just enough where you can't outshine our people. America is designed where you can outshine Americans because you just work hard. You have access to resources. So,
I mean, they play fair.
Yeah. So, and it's because this is their turf. They're like, hey, America, yeah, y'all open the doors. Y'all help out immigrants. It's a land of free. It's set up for immigrants to flourish. Other countries are not set up for immigrants to flourish. Like I said, let me say it again. America is set up for immigrants to flourish. Other countries are not set up really as easily for immigrants to flourish. Immigrants can make it, but they're gonna work their asses off because
Hello.
because those countries like we're gonna put our people first. We're not gonna put immigrants first. We're gonna give immigrants a little comfortable area, but we're not gonna put them first. So these incubators that's here in Korea for these foreign startups, like I said, they're designed to stimulate. They help get jobs. They're designed to get ideas. I spent about a year. I spent some years hanging out in the startup scene in Korea, and so I'm here to tell you firsthand. A lot of them are designed to try to create jobs. They're not really. Yes, you're a foreigner. They want you to come here because they want your ideas. They need ideas. They need new ideas. They need new industries so they can employ their people. So for Black people who spend their time trying to go to these pitch contests, who's trying to get angel investors, you're doing it all wrong. If we're in a country where people want products from Korea, like for example, socks. People want socks. So instead of me building a business that's targeted toward the Korean people, I'm gonna build a business to people outside of Korea. And because of that, kimchi socks has been sold in several countries. Because yeah, I sell in Korea. And it was a lot easier. It took less money versus doing that.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's so nice. So setting up a location independent business like kimchi sock is, especially if you're a foreigner in Korea, is a lot better route to go starting out, right? So go the path of least resistance first, build up the momentum, build up the street cred, get the money. So when you do try to establish yourself in Korea, you have the experience, you have the recognition that you can show the Korean people, which they care about. You have the money already stacked up. You already proven to. You can show them, hey, look, this is what I did already without your help. And then they will take you to a different level in business help than they would take you come here with nothing, because they respect someone who can do something on their own, especially if you did without Korean help.
Heck yeah. And they're not just going by based off. Well, honestly, in Korean culture, it's like your word means everything. You could tell people, like, somebody asked me to go somewhere, my Korean friends. I'll say I'll think about it. Maybe I'll be able to come. You can't even say maybe. It's okay. You're coming. Like, it's your word is everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like business and social status and stuff like that, nah, they want seeds. They want to see something.
We want to see that proof, babe.
They need to, because that's the only time where your word don't mean crap. It's like, okay, cool. Like, oh, you know what? I just bought a new Ferrari. So, oh, okay. You want to tell me more? What's your life story?
Yep.
I'm really interested.
Exactly.
Is there a protest happening?
No, I don't know. I saw.
It seems like there's.
They just running the running club. So here's a good example. So you know the business shuttle delivery. So shuttle delivery is ran by a group of foreigners, by the way. And I know the guy. I know a few of the owners, especially one because he's from New Orleans, like me. His name is Jason. My name is Jason. So at first, shuttle delivery was two separate foreign-ran food companies, right? They started out in an incubator, but then it was like, I think each company individual was like 4 foreigners ran it. So that's important. In order to survive overseas as a foreigner, especially in Korea, you need to work with other foreigners. You have to. That is very important because, like I said, this is not your turf. You don't have home field advantage. And because you don't have home field advantage, it is very important to team up with other foreigners, pull your resources together, pull your knowledge together, pull your connections so y'all can have a better chance of surviving in a country, especially like in Korea, because Koreans work together with other Koreans. Even if they hate the motherfucker, they still gonna work. They're gonna work with another Korean before they work with your foreign behind, because Koreans come first, and I respect that. So these two foreign-ran food delivery services, they was both run out of Itaewon. One group had a couple contracts with some restaurants. The other group had another couple contracts with other restaurants. So they realized that in order for them both to survive, instead of them fighting with each other, because at the same time they're fighting with the Korean companies, who has more money, who has more resources, and they can kill both of them. So instead they merged. They became one. They combined, which is smart. Exactly. They became one. Paying attention, and they're now thriving still. They're located. They're located in Seoul. They're now down in Pyeongtaek area where I'm at with the military base.
What's the name of it?
Shuttle delivery.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I use it too. And the cool thing about shuttle delivery is you can pay with Bitcoin, you can pay with PayPal, you can pay with a US card, and you can pay with a Korean card. Now, I don't know about the Korean delivery services. I haven't used them because I don't want to, because they don't have it in English. But shuttle delivery focus on the foreign people. Koreans use their stuff, I'm pretty sure, but their focus isn't on Korean. Their focus is on foreigners. And so when you are a foreigner in Korea, focus on the foreigner community or people outside of the community of the country. A lot of black people come here and they say, "Oh, I want to make a business for Koreans." Do not waste your time and money doing that because you're going to be chasing your tail. The thing I realize is when you don't put focus on Korean customers, they will come to you anyways. It's like that, it's weird. I noticed that because they come to me asking to buy socks, and I say, okay, but my socks wasn't meant for you. Okay, I want to buy it. Versus me, buy my stuff. Nah, because you look desperate, you look needy, you look like a beta.
It seems like when you kind of exclude them, they're like, oh my God, I have to get in on this.
Exactly.
And they don't play that stuff when it comes to like the businesses around here. For some reason, it's just like when you're a foreigner and you're starting some type of business here, if you're trying to cater to Koreans, first of all, they're not only not going to support your business, but they're going to steal your idea, Koreanize it, and find a way to get you shut down. And it's going to be 20 of your business, 20 copies of what you already started over in Korea, Koreanized.
Facts.
They cannot, like, there's so many different businesses here that, obviously came from America or some other countries, and they, made it a thing here.
Mm-hmm.
And Korean people are like, no, Korean jobs need to stay here, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. They took their business ideas, literally steal them, replicate it to make it as Korean as possible. They all come together and get you shut down, and then 20 of your business ideas, like the exact same thing that you did before, Korean businesses, they're doing it.
So that's why I believe in the tactic of minding your business. Don't, like I say, so operate in the shadow, and that's how I look at it. Operate in the shadow, grow in the shadow, become stronger, build your war chest, build up, become knowledgeable, keep building up, where you become so big that you can't fit in the shadows no more. And when they realize how big you became, you're too difficult to destroy. That is a much better strategy to go about when you're trying to build a business, especially in a country where they want to put their people first. And like I said, I respect that. That's much respect, and that's smart. You should put your citizens before you put anybody else because you need to hire them. So,
hi. Yes, yeah.
So with that being said, so a lot of people, they try to focus on that. No, build your business on the side. Focus it towards the foreigners in the community. Focus on creating content. Focus on developing your product. Reach out to people outside of the country and ask them, hey, are you interested in any products here that I can probably sell and ship to you to where you at? Build up that street cred, because then once you do try to, we're using Korea as an example. So once you do come to Korea and you try to establish your physical presence here, you have something to show. You're not just talk. You can show them, hey, this is my Instagram account. Here's my Twitter. Here's my YouTube. Here's my website. Here's the testimonials. Here's everything that people have said in America, Europe, Australia, China, all these other countries. So when you do come to the country that's not your home country, but when you do come and you show them, they're like, oh damn, okay, and they're gonna respect you. They're not gonna push back too much. Now we're talking about mainly something like online and type of businesses. Now when it comes to physical businesses, this will get tricky. So we have my other friend, we talk about shuttle delivery. And shuttle delivery, they mainly they do partnership with Korean restaurants. But so I guess back up. So you can are we in Seoul?
So right now, Gangnam 근처에.
So going back to shuttle delivery. So shuttle delivery, they target about Korean restaurants, but also foreign restaurants, because they're creating a marketplace essentially for people to go and order food to get delivered. So now I will say this: Koreans will do business with you if you are bringing them money.
That's true.
So that's a different one, right? Because down where I'm at, people who make suits and all that, if you work with them, hey, look, I will bring you customers for percentage. Then they would do business with you. But at the same time, you are bringing them customers that they don't have access to. They don't know how to market to. So right there, you bring them value. And like I said earlier, you are doing something they can't do. So like I said, they can do it themselves. They don't need you. And honestly, they don't need to spend. They're gonna spend money. They're gonna spend money with them Korean. They don't need to spend money with you, who's not Korean, because they can get someone else to do that for them. But if you can bring them customers, bring them business, bring them money, then you are now worth their time. You're now valuable. You can sit at the table. But if you're coming to the table with nothing to offer, you're coming to the table looking for them to feed you when you can just go back to your home country. Don't expect them to look at you in the way that you expect them to look at you. That's just foolish. That goes with anything. Like if you can't sit at the table and bring value, don't expect people to give you. Don't expect people to just feed you more than equal to them or more. You need to be able to prove that you can bring something to the table. It's going plain and simple. So another sister, she owns a restaurant down in Pyeongtaek, JJ's Diner, delicious food. She caters to the military population by the army post. She does great business. She has a hair shop too that provides hair products to people on the military base population. Her business is doing well because, like I said, she's two physical businesses here in Korea, but she targets the military people who we know get paid on the 1st and 15th. So you know there's guaranteed money with those people. 1st and the 15th, they get paid. You know that they're gonna want to get their hair done, so they're gonna go to her shop. Oh, it's a black woman who owns a hair shop.
I think I've been there before.
Jessica, her name. So she's a black woman who owns a hair shop.
I've been there before.
Boom. Hey, shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Shutter Living. We should say right now we're talking about a couple of businesses that are black owned in Korea, but they did it differently. They either work with other foreigners or they target.
Are there Caribbean shops?
I think so.
I'm not exactly sure.
That's the other thing. That's another topic. So we have to find out more. But thank you for asking that question. And hey, if you haven't shared this, invite people. So it's so much we can talk about starting a business overseas and here in Korea. It's a lot of information. But so her focus was military population. Because she's like, I don't, and she said it, she don't speak Korean. She's married, her husband Korean. She don't speak Korean. She don't speak Korean, and she lived here for years. And she said it, but she don't care. But she makes money. So that's the thing. There's people who speak fluent Korean, but don't make money. They make a little bit of money, which is no problem, which is cool. But
I'm sad.
But these are people who will talk down to you. So who will talk down to you, say, "Oh, you don't speak Korean," And I'm like, wait a minute. But you don't make money and you speak Korean. There's people who don't speak Korean or they speak a little Korean and they're making money. So right there shows you what's more important. My personal, for me, making money is more important than speaking a language, because you can speak. Being broke and speaking a language ain't impressive, but I think not speaking a language and making money is more impressive. Personally, that's just my thoughts on it. So she doesn't speak Korean. She's learning a little bit, but her business focus is all on the military population. So she has a guaranteed customer base for her restaurant and for her hair shop. All right. So.
It's Russian.
I know.
the only because I'm studying Russian.
I was actually what it says. Did you studying?
I have to read it really slowly. But
so. So we talk about that. So in all essence, essentially, we started out talking about how to get funding. First, I always tell people, when you start a business, first try to sell someone a product. Try to sell someone a $5 product. Try to do that. And for a lot of people, that's difficult. A lot of people don't know how to. Selling is important. A lot of people can't do that. So first, see if you can sell somebody something for $5. Like, hey, okay, here. Then once you got your first sale of $5, okay, then repeat it again. Try to do it again. Or you did it a second time. Okay, now try to keep that going. So try to do $50 a month for 3 months. Okay, now you did it for 3 months straight. You was able to generate $50 each month. You generate $150. Then 10x that, if possible. So 10x that, $50 a month to $500 a month. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna start slowly learning how to, because ideally, if you know how to generate money, you know how to sell. You know how to sell means you know how to talk to people, and whatnot. So that's important, because even if you do get funding, there's pointless of getting funding if you don't even know how to generate any revenue for your business, right? So, but a lot of people always ask me, hey, how can I get money? Because they got some people who get this like $10,000 for these incubators, but they don't actually generate revenue. For me, that's the biggest thing. Like, generating revenue is more important. Like, if you can't generate revenue, then I don't care if you can bring in $10 million in investments, but you can't generate $1,000 a month in revenue. That's kind of,
thank you.
You just a glorified beast. You just a glorified hobby then, pretty much.
Pretty much.
You know,
it's like, is it even worth it?
I mean, it is, but it's just the way that the culture of startups is nowadays is all about the raise more than the actual revenue. I feel like it, you know, because everyone they trying to get to Silicon Valley, or now Atlanta's becoming another Silicon Valley
It
destination.
definitely is.
Houston, Austin, Texas, New Orleans is actually becoming one too. It's all about getting the raise. It's about having an idea and then get money for the idea, develop the idea, then try to generate revenue, which is, I think it's kind of backwards.
It doesn't make any sense.
But so other than that, so what other questions? If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We got a few more. A few minutes. We've been talking good.
We're making pretty good time.
And so what other questions you have about? Because we are from America. Yeah, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. And
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
So yeah, we are Afro-American.
Yes, that is true. Look at our beautiful mugs.
Shameless plug, mine and my own black business mugs.
I like the music as well, actually. So thanks for the
thanks for
with the combo, but the music, I like jazz music, so this is my style.
Thank you for the feedback. All right, so what other questions?
I really like how you answered the bulk of what I was so curious about when starting a business, because I swear I can't ask Korean people because they just look at me like, no.
Well, you know, like recently, so I'm a Korean buddy myself. So actually, entrepreneurship was like looked down upon in Korea at one point. That wasn't the thing. It was because entrepreneurship isn't secure. It is not. Entrepreneurship is not secure at all. Let me repeat that. If you want to stress yourself out, start a business. If you want to stretch yourself out, start a business. Korea, and minus the pollution, is not bad. And I'm in Korea because I'm stationed here, and she is an entrepreneur, full-time YouTuber, singer, actress.
Pretty much everything.
Everything.
So, as far as Korea's pretty nice. I enjoy it. I came here originally to learn Korean years ago, and I succeeded with that. I'm not completely fluent, but I'm still learning. Yeah, so I like it here. I enjoy it, and
that's like everyone's concern. No, and all right, let's talk.
It varies.
So racism in Korea, I wipe my ass with it, and here's why. Because look at racism in America.
Yeah.
You might get killed. All right. Racism here is probably like a push or a shove, or they might skip you in line, or they might tell you no for something. I can deal with that.
That's not too bad.
And I can say some words, and they can see my face, and so they apologize. It's squashed, no big deal. Now, when it do come to certain jobs, and this is probably more for you to talk about because I don't live off the Korean economy. I'm paid by America. My job is American in the military. But you can probably talk more on this because you actually worked in there. And this also is the kind of like straighten our reason why you should have your online business that's location independent, that's more target towards, if you're from America, towards Americans. And she will talk more about that.
Oh, I could give you the whole spiel because working with the Korean entertainment industry was so stressful. I've seen a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of different reactions from Korean people and a different treatment from how other Korean people are treated. It's so much to go into, but all I can say is I experienced racism here. I mean, I experienced it from time to time, but I would say at first it used to bother me a lot, and I used to kind of feel like, oh my God, like, why are people like this? Before I realized, I don't care. I'm going to be on your face anyway. So hello, you got to get used to me regardless if you don't like me or not. I'm here. So but it's not as bad as I would feel like in America. Like Korean people are kind of racist. It don't really bother me as much, like as if I was in America and white people were doing it.
Yeah.
Like using the strong ER and stuff like that. Like we fighting. But here, I just feel like
a lot of it is like ignorant. Yeah, a lot of them, they don't know better. A lot of them is just based off what they see on TV. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Now I will take that back.
I'm sorry. Somebody said thoughts on the Burning Sun scandal.
What's that?
Oh, that's what we were talking about a little earlier before we get on camera. It's like with it was the K-pop idols who are being exposed for being a part of the prostitution ring, not only like not necessarily prostitution ring, but like they had group chats going on where they were talking, like eagerly talking about like how they would rape drunk women, unconscious women, just like how it's so fun, it's so funny, like this is awesome, and they have no respect for the women here.
So what's so funny though, and this probably not off topic, but this irritates me. So whenever military people, we have one mix up. Now keep in mind, military population in Korea is freaking tiny compared to the rest of the Korean population. If we do one thing wrong, the Korean media will make it seem as if we are the reason crime is happening in Korea. Right there is the issue with guys. So I will say that's my problem with Korea. Korea does not take ownership in nothing they do. They blame everybody else, and that is retarded. They have crime, they have murder, they have rapings, they have sexual assault, they have drunk drivers, they have all kind of stuff too. But let you be a foreigner and you do it, they will blow it up and make it seem like you are the problem of this country, which is naive on so many different levels, and I won't say immature as well. So that could be a whole nother video conversation, but we're not gonna go. We're gonna keep it on business, people. We're gonna talk about business, right? And we got about like 10 more minutes of this. So I don't know what questions do you have?
If I had another question, I would say, why is it that you think more Black people don't start businesses while living here? Do you think it's because they don't know how, or it's because they're more dependent on the government?
So
what exactly is your business?
If you go to my profile, you'll see Kimchi Socks is my main business on the side. I sell socks. So if you look at my profile on Twitter, you can get brought to it and you can check it out. Thanks for the question. So a lot of reasons why Black people don't start businesses is one, they don't know how. Like I said earlier, I see a lot of Black people trying to talk about, how can I get a visa so I can start a business here? And they don't know that you don't need all that. You can start a business. So a lot of us are still stuck in the old days of how business is done. A lot of us don't understand that you can have a whole business on your cell phone. I do. I manage my business from my cell phone. So we don't know that. That's information we don't know, because one reason why is because we don't, for example, we don't go looking for the information for the most part. We go looking for other information like, hey, music, entertainment, this and that, or we go to church. We can find a scripture in a heartbeat, but we can't find information on how to start a business or how to invest money. And it's a matter of us just going and looking for the information. For example, a lot of information I know I pay. I pay for books, I pay for podcasts, I go to meetups, I even pay advisors, I pay consultants. Like I paid a tax attorney $400 for an hour of his time so he can educate me on how to reduce my tax burdens so I can save $5,000.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, but see, a lot of people don't think like it. You say $400 for an hour, they think, oh, that's too much money. And so right there, it's a mind shift too. That 1 hour for $400 saved me $5,000, and that $5,000 that I didn't have to pay to Uncle Sam, I can now take that and invest it in my business.
That's great.
So education is the biggest part, our biggest problem, and we think education is all about college, but no, education is getting a book like For Our Work Week, or the Rich Dad Poor Dad, or so many different business books, reading business books, listening to podcasts. All that is how we can become more educated and more into the space. So when we come here, a lot of people come here looking for a job. Not a lot of people come here with the mindset of, I'm gonna build a business here. We have the parent-child mindset. A lot of people come from America, they come here with that same mindset, which is bad, because a lot of us don't think we can do it on our own. Plus, entrepreneurship is very risky. So a lot of people come here not looking to start a business. They come here looking for a job, which I can respect. Cool. But you can still have a job and still build a business. Like I have my job, military, but also my business on the side. So I'm trying to create multiple income streams for myself. But also it just comes down to not knowing the information to empower you. Like I said, a lot of people think to have a business because they live in Korea, they need to register a business in Korea. And I tell people, no, first of all, you are American. If you understood how many non-Americans try to build businesses in America and they're not even American, they don't even live in America. Like I said earlier, you don't need to be an American citizen. You don't need to have a visa. You don't need to have citizenship. I sell socks, kimchi socks. She's dating someone and I'm married. So it's a matter of information. right? Honestly, I think unless you are 100% sure that www.kimchisocks.com, and you can go to my Twitter profile and then you can navigate that way too. But like, unless you like 100% sure you're gonna live in Korea for the rest of your life, or at least a substantial amount of time, I think looking to try to get a business visa and all that I think, is a waste of resources when you can just start an online business by incorporating it in the U.S., set up a U.S. business bank account, set up a PayPal account, and focus on making money from people outside of Korea. Because also think about it, getting paid in USD is better than getting paid in won, because you get paid in USD. When you convert that USD over, it's more won. So honestly, I wouldn't want to get paid in won anyways. I want to get paid in as much USD as possible. So because I live in Korea, I get more money that way. So that's another thing why. So I just think we need to have more conversations really when it comes down to it, because like the digital nomad movement is how I read that book, The 4 Hour Work Week, back in 2010, and because of that, it freaking blew my mind on how people build businesses. You'll be surprised by a lot of businesses that you think are physical businesses. They're not physical businesses. They're all online based, and because of that, they are able to operate them from anywhere in the world at minimum low cost. So that's the other thing that we need to understand is while we're trying to build traditional style businesses still, everybody else is using technology to keep their costs low and to maximize their profits and outpace us, because we think we need to get a visa. We think we need this and that. No, you don't. Fuck that. If you're not Korean, fuck it. Don't even do it. Just don't waste time, because it's you wasting time and money when everybody else is just building online businesses like that. Boom, 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 making money. Exactly. Actually, it's not new. This has been a thing. Like I said, back in 2010, I came across this, reading Tim Ferriss' book, 4 Hour Work Week, and I started getting more in depth in the digital nomad movement. And I started realizing that's why people go to Thailand. That's why people go to the Philippines. That's why people go to these lower cost of living countries, but they're making USD money that allows them to live as if they are middle class in the US, but middle class in Thailand at a much lower cost. So it comes down to shifting as well. Now, I do plan on go back to America because I want to go back and invest in the Black community. But in the meantime, if I can reduce my cost of living in this next 10 years, right, earn a lot of money, and then save a chunk of that money that I would have been spending in the US, and then later on invest that into the Black community, and then I think that's a good way of doing it. And that's what actually a lot of Filipinos do too, you think about it. So just to talk about the Filipino community, I have a lot of Filipino friends. A lot of them, they join the military and they send money back home.
I heard about that.
They are smart. A lot of Filipinos, they send a lot of money back home and they own real estate back home. They own businesses back home. They invest money. And some of my friends, they send at first they send their whole paycheck. They send their whole paycheck back home. And at first I was like, oh, I feel sorry for them. But then when I started realizing I don't feel sorry for them because they're sending their whole paycheck back home because they're paying for a condo that they own. They're investing in a business that their family own. They're paying for 2 or 3 of their relatives to go to college. So I don't feel sorry for them. They're investing their money back home. Even some of the Africans who join the military, they do the same thing. So they send their money back home because I brought this up before. I said, Black people, we need to start, especially overseas. If there's a U.S. military base, we need to, and you got Black civilians, we need to come together and start really coming together and working in sharing resources and information with each other, because that's what the Filipinos do. So when Filipinos go to a country and there's a military base, we joke, did you check in? So they check in with the local community off base, the local Filipino community, because a lot of them have businesses already established. A lot of the Filipinos, they marry Koreans, they get their Korean citizenship, get divorced, but not the Korean citizens. They now can set up bank accounts. They can now get access to lines of credit that they also share with other Filipinos. And then because of the military, the Filipinos on base, they have access to U.S. bank accounts. So now they have access to U.S. capital through the connections. So right, these sources, they're using the connections to build their own little Filipino communities in these countries because they have their military Filipinos and civilian Filipinos coming together, bringing resources together.
Smart.
That is very smart, very efficient, and building and uplifting each other and themselves in the community. What's up, London? I can rant all day. I've been overseas since 2008. I have hung out with different cultures, different backgrounds, seen how they done things, took tips from them. Like even I say even like the Ghanaians, they come here and they buy cheap cars here, they ship them back to Africa and make money. They do the same thing with clothes. They sell stuff, they buy stuff, and they ship it back. Some even work in factories for free because they work in a factory for free, like car parts factories, so they can get the car parts because they work for free. They can get first dibs on good car parts, send it back to Africa, and make money. So they're willing to sacrifice the short term for the long term.
Makes sense.
Right? So we need more African Americans who are overseas to start thinking this way, coming together. And the other issue is we don't openly share information. Like what I'm talking right now, people will sell you a fucking course on for like a couple $1,000s.
It's so true though.
And I'm not gonna sell you a course on that because I have a business. I have another business. If anything, if we're doing this, I'll just talk open. If you want a private session, then we can talk about that. But I have no problem talking openly about this because we need this information to be shared. It needs to be put out there because the more people who has information, the more people can be empowered, and the more black businesses we can see. So we can solve our own issues if we have more black people like me and you talking openly, sharing this information. Because the Asians, they share the information.
Oh,
they share it.
They tell it.
The Europeans, they share the information. They tell you everything. Exactly. Long game, right? But you got to make short-term sacrifices. So I don't know. That's all. If you guys have any more, if you have any questions, before we sign off, and keep in mind this is also on my YouTube channel. I shared the link on my account, so we live stream on YouTube and we over here on Twitter. But if you have any questions, we'll answer them before we sign off.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
We really do appreciate it. Make sure you follow. Make sure you hit the notifications so next time we do live stream. So we're gonna try to do this weekly. I don't know what you think. Weekly?
Yeah, sounds about right.
We're gonna try to do this weekly. And if you haven't so I actually drive up here. It took me an hour to get up to Seoul. Appreciate it. So it took me an hour to drive up here so I can meet her and we can stay talk. So we want to do like a weekly thing. Yeah. So if you have any questions, like I said, we live in Korea. Any questions about Korea? Any questions about business? Any questions about being overseas? About her career? Being in the military? Definitely. Let us know. Like I said,
we can all learn together.
Yes, and I love sharing knowledge. I love sharing information because that helps everyone out. What? Oh, what's your lot socials? I think it was a social security number.
No.
Social, I was like, oh, my social security number. If you look at my profile picture, you can find some of my stuff on there, my website, and I will comment. You have a website?
No, I just have my Instagram. That's my main source of communication.
I will comment her Instagram and her YouTube channel in the comment section of this video once it's posted, so you can have her socials and along with mine too. Like I said, we're gonna do this more weekly. We're gonna try to do this weekly, just talking, man, share information. Like I said, I've been overseas since 2008. How long have you been overseas?
It's only been like close to 4 years that I've been going back and forth.
See, she's 4 years. I'm 11 years overseas. All right, I done seen a lot of things, talked to a lot of people, and it is my duty for the community to share my knowledge. Right, I firmly believe in that. No. Air Force.
And Korean entertainment, just entertainment in general, because I sing, dance, act, blah 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 blah.
Got her, and she did it in the Korean entertainment industry, bro. So that's insight right there.
As a black woman.
As a black woman.
Yeah, right? Not gonna lie, it was not easy, and they're not accepting of anybody that's.
And they wanted her to whiten her skin, probably.
Not as pale as this. It's a lot, but we can definitely get into that another day.
Yep, another day, another time. So hey, tune in next week. Houseway. Man, I don't know. That's a London thing?
No. It's like this interview Kanye did like years ago. He's like, Houseway, you don't have to answer sway. And
I remember that. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, you don't have to answer sway, yeah.
So everybody be like, Houseway.
All right, guys. All right, we are out. Talk to you next week.
Bye.
Oh. Peace. Thank you.
The X.
See, Twitter updated this stuff.
There we go.
Oh, yeah,
that's pretty good. Pretty good.
So you get Oh, we gotta stop this one too.